Hello, hello. I am going to add the other two ladies to join and we can start. Okay. Hi. So we got one. Let me add her. Turn this up. And then we can start. Just inviting Shayna, and then we can start. I'm gonna turn this down.
Not sure they got work with them. I'm trying to get rid of the damn blotches. It done gave me another face.
Not the effects. Hold on. Let me see. Wait. Again, and then we can start.
Ooh, no, we can't do that.
Oh. Ooh. All right. I don't know if she's can see it.
I think she's coming on. You see her? She's in here.
She wrote that she was ready, but I don't see her. Oh, wait. Why does it say that? Let me try again.
We can't do that.
Oh wait, maybe it's just her. Yeah, perfect. Not the facts.
It's the facts. It's not.
Okay, perfect. Hi, ladies. Oh,
yeah.
Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna start. I'm gonna do like a really quick introduction, and then we're gonna get started.
Okay.
So, hello everyone. Welcome to In.session. In being an acronym for the word intentional. So, intentional sessions, where we use this platform to discuss all things from culture, mental health, relationships, and how they all intertwine. My name is Raquel Simmons, and I am a pre-licensed marriage and family therapist. And I would like to start off by saying happy International Women's Month. We got one more day, and I just would love to have spent the ending of this month with these two beautiful queens. So I would love for you both to introduce yourself. So we'll start with Alicia and then Shayna, and then we'll get right into it.
Hey, what's up? It's 8. Just like, but tonight it's Alicia. How you doing?
Hello, my name is Shayna, and I'm excited to have a conversation with you guys.
So really quick backstory for those who doesn't know, these two beautiful ladies are some of my closest friends, and so I wanted to have them on this platform because obviously they're very gorgeous, but also they are very insightful, and we actually have like these mini conversations about sisterhood outside of the live anyway. So I said, you know what, how amazing would it be to be able to bring our conversations to a live platform like this one, to even try to relate to some other people and have other people kind of hear different perspectives on what we have to say. So today's conversation is surrounding the topic, does sisterhood even exist? So before we actually get into answering the question, I would like to kind of get you guys this idea of when you hear that, like, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word sisterhood? So, Alicia, would you like to go first?
I guess. When I hear sisterhood, I think about my good girls. Like, I think about my friends.
Okay.
The very few.
The very few. So I definitely want to get more into why you say the very few. So Shayna, when you hear the word sister,
when I think about sisterhood, I guess I think about friendship, but it's a little bit closer than friendship to me. Like, it's your sister, ideally. It's like the family you get to choose.
Yeah.
So I think sisterhood is a little bit deeper than friendship. Like, because you know, you have friends at different levels, but if you call someone your sister, there's a little bit of a difference in that relationship.
Okay.
I agree.
So thank you both for responding. I really like that you said the family you get to choose. I definitely want to like dive a little bit more deeper into that because that is a very interesting concept. So now I'm going to ask you both to actually answer the question. Do you feel like sisterhood actually exists? And more importantly, do you feel like, just to narrow that question down, let's say within the Black community, do you feel like sisterhood within the Black community exists? And if you like, why or why not? Who would like to go first? Okay.
I'll go. I think sisterhood exists.
Okay.
But I think there was a point where it existed more prominently and in a better light for Black women, if we're talking about Black women specifically. Because to me, if we think about TV shows that depicted Black sisterhoods, right? Like Girlfriends, like Gina and Pam, you know, like there were friendships that was out there. I think somehow that changed and it's not there anymore. Like that, we don't see that as much as we once did. So now we're wondering, does that still even exist?
So you think because now it's not like more televised than it was before, now it's like, since we don't see the representation, it's like, what's happening to it? That's
definitely think so.
That's a really good point. All right, Alicia, what do you think? Do you feel like sisterhood within the Black community exists?
I feel as though it does exist, but to certain limitations.
Okay.
So, all right. I want to piggyback on what Shayna was sharing.
Okay.
But kind of magnify it.
Okay.
Whereas social media and the influence it has on society today, I feel as though it's trying to make its way back with sisterhood. You start to see a little bit of the groups, like, you know, everybody that's into fashion, they all stepping out and they going out to big parties and, you know, everybody's corralling together. Those who have certain interests, they're kind of showing in limitations, like in like little peaks that, oh wow, that's like a sister, or they're besties or friends. I feel as though the words has been saturated so much that we are now starting to find newer meanings to what sisterhood is and in what way it's gonna thrive in society today. So yes and no. I feel as though social media and just the influence it has been having on us, we're in a crazy place right now, if that makes sense.
What do you mean by crazy place? And I definitely agree with the social media portion. And so what do you feel like, you said crazy place, so kind of just like dive a little bit more into that, but more importantly, like, what effects do you think, like, in particular, social media is having?
Shayna shared about, you know, how TV, this whole, all right, so we got the Ginas, the Pams, and all of that. But now I feel as though the competition within us Black women and the depiction it had on TV in the 2000s, it has been like uproar. And then it kind of takes it back into history, whereas into slave mentality, like crabs in a bucket. Whereas we are pinned up like, oh, you light skin, you belong in the house and you're better than. And then you have those that are sleeping with the master and having the kids. And it's like, it's a lot going on that I feel as though Black people, even beyond sisters, young men, we are so combative. We are literally fighting each other. And we are competing. Who got the biggest BBL? Who got the best doctor? And who got the biggest salary? It used to be like wage grabs. Now it's like, who got the biggest ass? Who got the best teeth? And who got the biggest booty and the big chest? And it's like, it ain't no more like, damn, are you loyal? Are you gonna hold me down? Or are you too busy competing with me or thinking that I want something upper than you? Like, you know, it's this thing within our own people that we don't think that we're good enough, so we project that onto each other. And it's like, if we don't love each other, how are we gonna look for love? How sister girl, how you know that she not gonna love you? Like, you know?
Yeah, I think it also has it's also a part of like women becoming independent and more masculine than feminine, like in a sense. So I think it has a lot to do with that, where we're on go, we have things to do, so we don't unite in the ways that we should, you know what I mean, or we could. And I also think the atmosphere of women period became competition, right? Because we went from the shows like Martin and Pam and Gina to the shows like Bad Girls Club and I Love New York and Flavor Flav. I can't even remember the names of those shows today, but the whole depiction of Black women changed, right? Women together changed. It went from let's have fun and live in color in college, you know, doing things, right? To, I mean, a different world in college, to now, let's fight. I have to look better than you. I have to dress better than you. Who's better than who? And I feel like it spread.
Wow. Thank you both for sharing. I think that was like so insightful. And one of the things that you both had in common is the way that Black women are depicted these days, the way that we're being able to view, whether that's on TV or social media. Now it's like, wait a minute, maybe this is the way I need to be. And so it's really interesting. And even back when you said like slavery days, and not, you know, to get too deep, but realistically speaking, a lot of Black people, we had to kind of like fight to be better, or we had to make it to the top. So it's kind of like each one for ourselves. And so with that question, do you feel like we're powerful or more powerful within our numbers, or do you feel like because we have to make it alone, or the idea of like we have to be better than, do you feel like we're okay as like independent women rather than like a unity of women? Do you get my question? I know that was a lot.
No. I understand it.
Okay.
So what I would say is, kill me if you want. I would say both.
Let's hear it.
I would say both.
Okay. Why both?
I would say both because I'm gonna use myself as an example.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna use someone, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
So with me, I would say I believe that there is a place where sisterhood could exist.
Okay.
Because I want to see you grow.
Okay.
I want to see every woman grow. I don't compete. I feel so everyone could do it. We all could all win. However, the reason why I say it cannot happen is because sometimes we are raising our young women to hate not only ourselves, but hate one another. Okay. And I feel as though until we get us right, you cannot exist with another female. Like, you cannot be in a sisterhood when you don't know how to love yourself or love the next woman. And that's where I feel the issue is. It's rooted deep within. And I'm no shade to no one. Like, I would rather be by myself than to have someone that's hating on me. When I'm giving you all this love, and it's like, so it's like sometimes we got to know our strengths. And sometimes being individuals and thriving by ourselves is what it needs to be. We have to be self-aware of what we are putting out there. So yes and no for me.
I'll take it. Shayna, what do you think?
I think so too. Okay. I don't know, but I feel like at the same time, I have met many women along the way who have made sure I got to the next level somehow, some way. So I do believe sisterhood still exists. I believe maybe it's one, like your energy, right? So I attract good friends, good women in my life, right? And I believe a part of it is because I'm a good woman and the kind of person that I am, right? So I'm going to attract what I am. But then at the same time, yes, I'm going to hold my independence down and get what I have to get. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to knock somebody down along the way. Now that I'm not doing. And I think that today, the way the world is, it's about knocking the next person down to get where you have to get.
Ooh.
Like, it's about not allowing the next person to flourish, to fly.
Right.
Because you don't want them to outshine you.
Right.
And you see it all the time. We see quotes about it, posts about it, stories about it, people coming at each other about it, people just feeling like, in general, I can't lift you up. Like, two hairstylists can't be friends. Like, you can't do everybody's hair. You gotta share.
Yeah.
But that's just the way the world is. If you start doing hair, it's because I do hair and you're copying off of me. It's not because you can also do hair, because there are millions of people who need their hair done.
Right.
The way it is now, if someone has the same skill that you have or is interested in the same thing you're interested in, I feel like rather than someone molding them, we are in a place where it's like dog eat dog. Like, no, you're trying to take out of my mouth if you want to do the same thing that I do, or if you're interested in the same thing that I'm interested in. It's not, wow, I would like to develop this person to be able to do this thing. And I feel like that's predominantly in the African American community, because in other communities you'll see 10 corner stores owned by other cultures, and they'll literally direct you to the next store when they don't have what they need, what you need. Check such and such. We will not, depending on who you are, there's very few people that you'll find that would say, but you can go to this person. You know, we're competitive.
Yeah. Shayna, one of the things, thank you so much for responding to that. One of the things that you said a little while earlier was about, it's because females act more on their like masculinity that we feel like we're always like, we have to be better than. So if you can just kind of like elaborate on that, like what you mean, like, and why do you feel like that?
I think it's, in a sense, it's back to what I was just saying. Like, women have become, in a sense, territorial and dominant. And that's a part of not helping that next woman develop. That's a part of not nurturing that next person. Because we're a little bit more abrasive, especially women from New York. We're abrasive, but we have to be.
Yeah.
That's our culture. Like, we get on the bus and the train, like, we troops. So now we're in go mode. That's just what it is. You know, when I meet people and they say that, I'm like, yeah, people get dropped to school in other places. Like, we were on go. So we're a little bit more, I guess, street smart. Like, we're a little bit more aware. We move a little bit differently because of our exposure. And to me, because of that, we can be a little bit more like abrasive, aggressive. We're like, you know, New York girls.
Right. I agree. That's actually one of the points that I wanted to get at, and I kind of want to switch to you, Alicia, because you were saying, well, a lot of times, well, how can I sit with a whole bunch of people if you can't even sit with yourself? And do you feel like a lot of it has to do with like our upbringings and the way we connect with others? So how do you feel like our upbringings could have a positive or negative effect on how we deal with others?
Wow. I know I said that. That's some good shit. Okay, so I feel as though our upbringing had a lot to do with the type of relationships we have. It could be good or bad. Some people have a lot of trauma from their upbringing, and they fight. And for those who are so strong to fight against everything all that they was exposed to as a kid, and they're able to do the opposite when it was negative for them to have really strong relationships, they need to be commended. But for those who are still, they couldn't help it and they was fighting against that negative upbringing and just not knowing how to even have a stable relationship, it has everything to do with the inability sometimes to have a relationship. And it's unfortunate that our psychosocials have so much to do with it, our biopsychosocials, and even what our parents went through. Ironically, it comes up in us, and unconsciously we have to be self-aware to know, like, damn, I wasn't loved properly. Just learn and be open to learn and be open and to make those mistakes along the way and stuff. Like, an example would be, I personally was brought up in a Caribbean household, so the lack of affection made me want that type of love and hugging and this and that. So in a lot of my relationships, I attract people that gives me that. I attract people that give me hugs, give me my flowers, and just, it's kind of weird sometimes. You're like, oh, give me a hug. Did you have me? No, I don't want to offend anybody, but like, hey, you good? Like, give me a hug. I miss you. And it's like, I can't help myself. I'm a much too. I'm like, I miss you. Why this, why that? Because I thrive off of that, because I want that. I wish my mom could have said, like, you know, when my mom had to ask me she had to ask me to hug me. Is it okay if I hug you? Like, I'm so happy. Can I give you a hug? And it's sad, but it's the truth in a lot of our homes. Like, we don't know sometimes how to love each other. And my parents, both of them, are actually motherless kids. They grew up without having a mom. My mom was raised by her aunt. My dad was raised by his grandparents and then his aunts. No love could have compared to a mother's love. So now that I'm looking for my mom, like, you know, for that love, that genuine love, she can't give me what she never had. And I have to be okay with it. But it's like, then it goes back to social media. It goes back to not even social media, but like TV and stuff. Because that's where I grew up. Like, I was in the line of TV turning into internet, then social media. And then you be like, damn, why can't I have the mom like Tia Mari had? Like, you know, why can't I have Jack A? Like, why can't I have Nikki Parker as a mom? You feel me? And it's just like, just give me a hug. Like, I have to tell my mom every morning, like, you know, kiss me before you leave for work. You know, you never know. You're going to work in the city. Yeah. And it's things like that.
Yeah.
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 That was deep. That was deep. See, that was a release right there, girl. That was a release.
No, thank you so much for that response.
Yes.
Before I move on, do you want to like respond to that, or do?
Yeah. So I guess a part of it does boil down to your upbringing, you know, and people who were raised in a sense survival mode versus people who were raised in love, right? Like, that varies. So then of course it's going to impact your adulthood. But I do believe that everyone can heal. It's just about applying the nurture to that specific area that you realize you're deficient or you need more of. So, you know, giving yourself a lot of self-care and a lot of self-love, if that's what you need. Top tier. You know what I mean? Pouring back into yourself in those ways. And I feel like when we do pour back into ourselves in those ways, whatever they are, because we all have them, we all need them, then we start to attract better friendships and sisterhoods inevitably. As you elevate, your friends do change. The friends that you had 5 years ago when you were a different person probably aren't your friends right now. You know, you guys are probably like on associate type vibe, checking in, because you've evolved and you're going to connect with people as you evolve. And then there are going to be some people that stay around forever, right? Like Oprah and Gail in a sisterhood. You're going to have a person where you and that person literally remain friends probably forever and ever. But everyone else, I feel like you're going to have little sisterhoods along your life's journey. Your sisterhood doesn't have to be, oh, I met this person and I've been with them for 20 years. If someone comes into your life and they've helped you for 6 months, that's still loyalty, still can call that person your sister. You know, it doesn't have to be oh, we're on the phone every day for 8 years in order to be a sisterhood to me, right? I'm gonna see my sister because she gave me what a sister should give me along my journey, no matter what that is. Even if somebody just pours into me as far as having a conversation and they're really cool, right? Like at work, I'm really cool with a lot of people. Some of them I would help along the journey every once in a while, you know? You help people you don't even have to help sometimes from different areas. And you're like, I did what I was supposed to do, is helping another, you know, sister.
No, so thank you so much. You both brought up some really great points, and I just kind of want to like circle back to them of saying, you know, definitely your upbringing has like a major part or plays a major part within how you even interact with others, let alone women. And it's very interesting that you both kind of touched on without actually really saying it is, well, you get to choose. It's your choice. So yes, we all, there's a lot of us that grow up in a heap amount of like trauma, you know, and so what do you do with it? How do you choose to live your life? So if you grew up with a connection that wasn't as strong with your mother or mother figures within your life, so now you choose, okay, well, is this what I want, or is this what I'm going to demonstrate? So is this what I want, as in since I didn't get this, or since I lacked this, I'm going to actually gravitate towards others and show other people like this is not the ideal way to go, or this is what I need to continue to function? Or do you say, okay, well, since I didn't get this, I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to give this out because obviously I don't know how. And you both, I enjoy the fact that you both are connecting it back to like the TVs that we, or the social media outlets, and the way we're actually brought up now is because, yes, we don't have, and this is something that I didn't even think about when I was even proposing this question, is we actually don't necessarily have like those type of sisterhood shows anymore. We have like a glorified Bad Girls Club now, and this is the way we are being shown to communicate with us and like Black women. And so with that being said, do you feel like that places like a negative aspect on like how like the world sees us, and not necessarily just the world, but like how that may interact? And I know this is like completely going off the script, but I just like popped into my head, but in our relationships, like with other people outside of just like our friendships. So like maybe like our partnerships that we have, do you feel like that is the reason why it's hard, or we have to act so much in our like masculinity, is because this is the way we're being depicted on social media, and so we as Black women can see this, but also our Black men can see this, and our Black partners can see this. And do you feel like we get treated in the way that we're depicted versus the way we are as like humans? So I probably said a lot, so I'm gonna like kind of like backtrack. So do you both somebody said Harlem. If any, this is like unpaid promotion, but the show Harlem is really good. So if anybody wants to see it, it has a really good sisterhood vibe. But anyway, do you both think that maybe being like this strong, independent, like Black woman is a defense mechanism off of the way people are already gonna view us?
Yeah,
I definitely do. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of popped into my head because it's like, well, yes, we obviously see this, but you know, oftentimes other people are seeing this. And why do you think that we're now prejudged this way? And is it hard to even have these type of conversations now? Like maybe I want to be social or be uh maybe I want to be like sisters with you, but I don't even know how to approach you because this is the way that we're being depicted. So I'm going to judge you before I actually see you, or before I have a real conversation. So I don't know if this is like, you guys feel free to answer, but do you feel like you're often like prejudged before you actually get to open your mouth based off of how society views? And I don't know if you guys want to kind of go into that or.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely a more judgmental society, period, all around, just period, because social media, social networking has opened us into people's lives in a way that we never were before.
Okay.
So now it's like we're in everyone's life. We know everything that's going on with everybody now. And so it makes it where you're definitely judging like what's right and wrong all the time. That you know, even down to what people are wearing, because you're seeing so many people now. So now you're like, what does this person have on? Like, oh, that's cute. I want that. And you know, like all day you're making judgments, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be negative per se, but we just make a lot more, to me, judgments and connections because everything's moving so much faster now as well.
I agree.
I have a piggyback on, so I have to touch bases on 2 points. So I actually have a story about social media and the way they, all right, so for an example would have to be Bad Girls Club. No, it's that baddies thing that's on, I sound like an old lady. It's that thing that's on that Black network. I forgot what it is. It's with Natalie Nunn and them. So
I know what you're talking about.
Them.
Yeah.
You know what they call?
No, but I know what you're talking about. Baddies West.
Oh no, Baddies West.
Well,
I'm like, I know it's Baddies.
The Baddies. Them. It's so ironic that when it comes down to the social class, Zeus. All right, so Zeus Network actually get these girls. So like they would put it out there that they're looking for these girls, these baddie girls. Ironically, I work with young girls. I work with adolescents between 16 to 24 or whatever. I used to. And one of my students was like, yo, I called and I got a hold of them, and I'm like, oh wow, this is a young girl. Not to say, I'm not gonna say too much, but it's so crazy how they scope out these young girls to exploit them like that. You feel me? Like they don't have much going on. Some of them don't have much going on. It may have a bright future, but because the money, if you're talking that money and you are being expensive to them, and like, oh yeah, you could get time, and this is what these young girls want. It don't matter. Once you put a dollar sign on it, it's like, yo, I'm out. So it's like that they exploit the hell out of us when it comes down to showing us in a positive light. No, because guess what? You're gonna watch Zeus. You're gonna pay that subscription to watch the girls.
But it connects back to what I was saying earlier. And I see your comment, Shine Mama Life. I don't think social media is to blame, honestly. I think it's just trauma response and what we've seen, experienced. That's a great point. But what we were saying was why I believe that social media is partly to blame. So it's twofold, because social media is why we're seeing and experiencing so much more trauma. So it works backward, right? Like your comment. But it started because it went from us watching Living Single and Girlfriends and the Parkers and seeing Gina and Pam's friendship to seeing Bad Girls Club, Competing for Men, I Love Whatever, Whoever. There were a few of those series.
Real Chance.
You know, to more competitive. Everything became competitive. TV went from collaboration and love and women being away at college or working or just having like general life, like life together, to let's fight, I gotta take your man, whatever. Like there's so many stories that we can pull from the way the media started to depict sisterhood. And then now social media is a product of media. So they're going to go with what's popping at that time. If social media came out when those shows were out, we would probably have a different lens on sisterhoods. But because social media was a product of reality TV and reality life, right? Reality became a thing that we took from the TV to our hands. And now look, right? So it does connect to it. It's why we treat each other completely differently today.
It's to the point that it's the reason why we actually getting back together. It's like everybody's starting to unify and pull out their phone and taking a TikTok. And now it's Black girls travel, Black this, Black that, Black girls luxury. Like this is being, it's slowly but surely, it's kind of turning around.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away the stain. It don't take away the bruises that a lot of young women are going through. Like it's not enough, and it's like all these projections are being shown, and instead of getting the help that we do need, getting the therapy, getting the self-care, just saying your affirmations and doing the self-care and the self-love and just doing that, doing the self-work. That's mainly what it is, self-work. We are just hurting each other, and it ain't no sisterhood.
Yeah. So I do excuse me. Thank you both for sharing. I do see the comments where they are disagreeing with it. But I can definitely say that everyone is true. And so what I mean by everyone is true is that, so it depends on what you're training your eyes to see. And what you train your eyes to see has a lot to do with what you find entertaining, and has a lot to do with what you say, and Alicia and Shayna, how your upbringing, how you grew up, what you grew up watching. So a lot of times if we grew up watching, there's a lot of, 9 times out of 10, like certain our like grandparents are not tuned into the baddies South or baddies West or whatever, because that's not their era. That's not the era in which they grew up in, which is why they're not trained to automatically see this. And so as generations are changing, which is to your point, Shayna, as generations are changing, what we decide to watch and what we're exposed to is changing as well. So yes, there are positive things that we are watching on TV, which we're not negating that. And I don't think that you ladies are, saying that all we have is this ratchet television. It's just about, we're exposed to that a lot more. When you go on social media, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see something depicting negative scenarios for Black women than uplifting. And a lot of times, depending on your generation and your age group, you're also going to see that. You're also going to see the younger girls, to bring to Alicia's point, you teach or you mentor younger kids who glorify the baddie show, who is looking forward to getting on that show because of the bag. But that bag talk is where we're trained now. That bag talk is where we're headed out now. And so those who are like disagreeing, free to do so. But I just wanted to provide some background context, just to say, like, no, we're not just saying that's all that's out there. We're just saying that that's a lot more, or these ladies are saying it's a lot more glorified than, like, be for real. It's a little bit more glorified than the living single vibes, or it's a little bit, even someone said like Insecure or the show Harlem. Those are really 2 good shows. But how many times you
real quick?
Yeah, wait. But just to let me finish. But yes, those 2 are really good shows. But also, how many times are those shows publicized on like social media? How many times do you see an Insecure ad? How many times do you see a Harlem ad? Or how many times do you see a baddie self ad? And so it's like we're taking it in. We're saying, okay, this is how we should act. This is how we should do. And so that's kind of like the point of what we're trying to like get across, or the message. Yeah. So, Alicia, what are you going to say? Sorry.
So funny that y'all. So here's the funny thing about Insecure. Outside of Insecure, Amanda Stills was just now on a show. She was meeting with Jason Lee, and they actually have beef. Like, the sisterhood, it's a shit show. So it's crazy. Yeah. It's like they have a show that's an oxymoron to what's really going on things. But I'm not saying that social media is all to blame. No. It's what we do enjoy watching. Yep. Don't I like me some ratchet ish. I do. But
all I was saying was that ratchet TV back then, because like I see someone say that, there are other things, but back then, no. Monday night was ratchet TV night. We didn't have all of these outlets. Yeah. And then we saw people the next day and talked about it. Yeah. All right. We didn't really have like social media to go talk about it, or you text whoever. Like, you know, like, girl, you saw whatever, you know, that's how it was. Like, you waited until you saw your friend the next time to talk about it. So it was Monday night. It was you know, that was what it was on a Monday night at that point. Yeah. And I feel like it just made us more competitive is what I think. I think everything and everyone is just a lot more competitive. And that's where I believe that that's a part of a masculine trait.
Yeah. Okay. I definitely see that point, and I agree. I'm like, dang, are we getting old? Because like it used to just be like Monday night where we were just like watching it all at once and never throughout the entire week. But anyway. And so, with that being said, what advice would you give to our younger girls growing up into this new population to about like sisterhood and about like what the importance of it? Is it important, or is it better for them to kind of like get to it, be independent, and be alone? So what kind of advice would you give the younger girls growing up, or hell, even us? What kind of advice would you give the Black girls just being in this situation where, you know, there's a lot of like Black women who desire the company of another Black woman. And just so afraid to even start, or so afraid to even say hi to each other or start a conversation because of that competition. And we're always in a fight with each other. So what kind of advice would you give to either like young girls, women of our age groups, or anyone on the importance of sisterhood?
Sorry, I'm gonna respond to her. No, I agree with both so Shine Mama Life and Very Slick. They said also, you know, like it depends on what your algorithm is full of. Yes. Girl, if y'all know me, my algorithm is full of some positivity, some prayer, some affirmation, some meditation videos probably. It's all butterflies, flowers, and rainbows. However, that doesn't negate the fact that I have to go to work and deal with people who are now a byproduct of these things that we're talking about. Because it exists outside of this. Wow. And then it exists in real spaces that impact your life. Yeah. And if you end up working with someone who doesn't value sisterhood and you're another sister, you're in trouble. Yeah. And it definitely depends on where you're going in your career, but it doesn't matter where, really and truly. Yeah. You could work at Target with a girl who feels like, I'm not into that sisterhood, that, and your boss at Target can be not the nicest person based on being a byproduct of these things. That's the reality. So my timeline is clean. My timeline is great. But I still got to go to work. I got to get on the bus with these people. You got to do life dealing with women who have a lot of residue and trauma from their lives. And that's the, you know, truth about it.
Yes. Okay, wait. Switching gears. We won't get to all of the comments, but what advice would you give to young women or women growing in this society now, like on like sisterhood? What kind of advice would you give them to strengthen their sisterhood?
So one advice I would have to give is it's all internal. Okay. Before we could be a sister to anyone else, it's all internal. If you're not right within, you're not going to be ever right with anyone. And that was my message all throughout tonight. And that means if you love yourself, you're going to attract that love. People are going to love you. And you can't help it but to accept it. So definitely there is a such thing. And it is a lot of self-work that we have to put into just to attract a great sisterhood, just to attract great energy.
Yes.
We have to us. We have to do that internal work, because instead we're gonna attract people that kind of have a little bit of us. Like, damn, that hurt shit. Hurt shit. So it's all about the self-work. What we attract is what we are projecting out.
I agree.
I definitely agree with that. And I guess I would say, so I agree with Alicia's point that she made earlier, that a tangled point that she made earlier, that sisterhood is on the rise. So I would honestly say to the young girl that she's okay, because I do feel like right now sisterhood is coming back. I feel like, you know, there's more brunches and girl trips, and it's coming back. It's coming back in the right light. It's coming back in, it's okay to have good girlfriend relationships, because there was a point where you hear women say, I don't like girls, or girls say, I don't like being around other women. You know, there was a point of that consistently. Wherever you went, you heard that. But I think now you see more of women becoming friends and going out together and doing things together, recording content together, and just having a good time together. So I think it's on the rise. And I think the same way we prioritize relationships and partnerships, I think we should start prioritizing our friendships. Because, you know, over time, your friends sometimes last them relationships out, loop and loop and loop again. And one thing I feel like women do when we get into relationships is we start to ditch our friendships. Like, we start to, you know, depart from our friendships. But men will still go play ball. They still will go watch the game together. Men are going to do what men are going to do. But us as women, we start doing for our man, and we start to shift sometimes too. So if I had to tell a young woman anything, I would say prioritize your friendships and prioritize the women that you meet along your journey that leave gems in your life, just as much as you prioritize romantic partnerships.
I agree, and I love that. Like, I'm just thinking about it, like, oh my God, that is so true. I agree 100%. So we are coming to an end, right? But I did not want to leave you both without giving you like virtual flowers. So if you guys are here, you know, with us, like, put some flowers in the chat. And I'm doing this, and I know you guys didn't expect it, but I'm doing this because I actually adore both of you so much. And in light of Women's History Month, I want to give you both your flowers, because I have not known you both all my life. I've actually known you both for like a little over a year. And the impact that you both have within my life has been like completely life-changing from the moment that I've like saw you, from the confidence that you have installed in me, from the power, the affirmations. There's not one day or 1 month or 1 week that goes by that you both don't tell me that I could do it, that you both don't tell me that I am worthy, that you both don't encourage me to go after a new position, to go after a new love, to go after everything that I'm supposed to get. And you both encourage me all the time. Like, literally, it's not 1 week. You know what I mean? I know that if I could talk to you both and say, I'm not even feeling my best, you both are like on it. Like, oh no, what's going on? How could we help? And I definitely love you both dearly to my heart because of that. And you both are my sisters through the lifetime. You both are stuck with me for sure. But I just wanted to let you both know, like, I appreciate you, and I wouldn't want to end off Women History Month without both of you. So I definitely do adore both of you. And thank you for being on my live, because this means I think that without you both even knowing it, you both gave me the courage to even start this. And, you know, I told you both about it, and you're like, you know, go for it. I think that we need to be able to do this, and we have a voice. If anybody was wondering, like, who was giving me the battery, it was these beautiful queens. Honestly, I love you both to the pits of my heart. And so I wanted to just, you know, give you both your flowers and thank you both for joining me.
Thank you so much.
So, okay, I'm gonna, like, you know, not get too emotional. Just chill. All right, no. So, thank you all for joining. If you both want to just say, of course, I'm gonna put it in the comments, but if you want to say where people can follow you, that would be great. So, Alicia, where can people follow you?
Some people followed you already.
You can follow me on TikTok, atangle4, and definitely Instagram. But I'm taking a hiatus, so I had session with the one and only Raquel.
So thank you for coming out of hiding for me.
It's my silly lash.
Nice lashes. Okay, Shayna, where can they follow you?
You can follow me on my page, Modern Day Beauty. But I'm also in and out. So if you follow me and I'm not up there, don't think I blocked or I didn't follow you back. But I will definitely follow everybody back that follows me.
You see,
right? Thank you.
Like, y'all, they came out of hiding. They're both not even on social media, and I'm like, I need you both on my show. They're back, activated accounts and everything. Like, this is what I'm talking about. You both are, like, so awesome. I love it. So I will wrap it up by saying thank you all for watching this live and tuning in. This is In Session, and being an acronym for the word intentional. So intentional sessions where we talk about culture, relationships, mental health, and how they all may intertwine. My name is Raquel Simmons. I'm a pre-licensed marriage and family therapist, and I'm joined here by the amazing Alicia and Shayna. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, ladies, for coming on, and I hope that everyone has an amazing rest of the day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Finally.